Hey team, welcome back to Dukes on Twitch. Back today with a Legacy Maverick League, which is really fun. Back with Achillies27's list. Connery is obviously a good friend of Green Sun Zenith and does really well on a competitive level with this. So, hey Glacier6, thanks for the Prime sub. A huge thank you. Hope you're doing well. This is, I would say, probably the stock list for if you're running into a competitive league with a Black Splash. I haven't tested Grist yet with Stoneforge Mystic, which I'm really looking forward to. I think Grist is only better if you are playing a Stoneforge Mystic build, because then you get some equipment to make those 1/1s into real threats. Paul, a huge thank you for the sub. 34 months is pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. I hope you're doing well. I will hopefully see you soon at a Highlander event. I do like that you did bring up Hate Bears the other day, because I do want to try it against Jund in the Toowoomba meta, because it sounds pretty cool. You lost to Green White Depths this morning in the challenge. Yeah, Green White Depths is putting up some really good results. There's a lot of good players online playing it. And yeah, I assume it was Matt who was playing the list that you went down to. I know that Vuk did really well going into the top 8 with Green White Depths, which is awesome to see. But the deck is just really good, and Yavimaya has done some pretty insane things to the consistency of the deck and has really sped it up. I think Yavimaya has sped it up close to a turn, which is pretty crazy. Oh, cool. Someone else. Well, very cool to see the deck getting a lot of play and a lot of strong results, because yeah, it's pretty hard not to play it as a green-white player, so did not have the honor of losing to Vuk. I'm sure a lot of people have, so that's pretty funny. One card that's really interesting in this list is Mark's Vandal, which is a card that I did see on release, but kind of pushed it aside. But I do like that Achilles has gone for Mark's Vandal over something like Crystalli Pride Mage or Knight of Autumn, because it does exile, which is pretty key for dealing with the new equipment printed in Modern Horizons 2 that a lot of Death and Taxes players are playing and some Stoneblade players are playing. The name is... yeah, Kaldra, there we go. Kaldra, of course, is an indestructible equipment, and the token, I believe, is also indestructible, or the equipped creature. So Mark's Vandal is pretty nice. The only thing I don't like is that it does rely on a creature in the bin, which sometimes just isn't there. So against a deck like Show and Tell, you might not actually have the creature in the bin before they put in something like Omniscience off a Show and Tell, or your opponent might have something like a Rest in Peace out, or maybe a Scavenging Ooze in the mirror. But otherwise, I think it's pretty cool tech, and pretty awesome to see. It is also a changeling, so no matter what your opponent names with something like a Plague Engineer, it is going to become a 0/2. But yeah, very cool to see. I also like it as a 2-drop, so just lowers the curve a little bit, because sometimes with Knight of the Reliquary and Knight of Autumn in the deck, and a few other 3-drops like Endurance now and Grist, it can be pretty heavy on 3-drops if you aren't playing enough mana accelerants. You can get in a position where you have a hand of like 4 lands and 3-drops, so that can be pretty tough. I do also really like Carpet of Flowers in the sideboard. Carpet of Flowers is a card that Maverick can definitely take advantage of in Green Sun Zenith. Scavenging Ooze, Hex Drinker as well is very sweet with Carpet, so that should be pretty fun. And Prismatic Ending is also probably the best card for Maverick out of Modern Horizons. The flexibility of this card is huge. I have exiled anything from opposing creatures to Sylvan Libraries to Pithy Needles to Aether Vials. You can get Jace, which is cool. You do have access to the 4th color in your Birds of Paradise and Noble Hierarchs, which is nice. But I haven't done that yet. We do also have a bingo card going, which I'll hopefully get live. But we've done some of the bingo card, which I've been pretty happy with. Got there with Depths, doing a few. But today I want to try to get some of these done. So we've done lock out an opponent with Wasteland, block with Dried Up and then save with Script Ranger, Wasteland or own land for lethal, put in Knight of Autumn off a Show and Tell, draw more than 5 extra cards with Sylvan Library. What I'm looking for today is probably attacking for lethal with one of the Mana Dorks and Mother of Runes. I'd love to save a land from a Wasteland if possible. And then the lockout with a Teeg or Oof would be pretty sweet too. So I'll have to put this somewhere on the site so it's easy to come to, but it would be pretty awesome to get some of these done. That's pretty much it. I think that if you are going to go for a list for Green White Black, I have been playing a version that doesn't play Stoneforge Mystic, but I think it's technically correct to do it. If you were going to take a list to a challenge or something, I would definitely recommend Achilles lists, so that's pretty cool. Hey Victor, welcome, I hope you're well. I would love to 5-0, but I'll take the 1-0, then the 2-0, then the 3-0, then the 4-0 first, so game by game. Yeah, Prismatic Ending is huge. One thing to note with Prismatic Ending is that Teeg does turn it off, which is pretty nice because there's a few Bant Miracles lists that are moving away from Terminus and towards Engineered Explosives and Prismatic Endings as removal. So outside of Swords to Plowshares and some sort of bounce effect with Teferi, Teeg is pretty unbeatable for those decks, which is pretty cool. How many copies of Prismatic Ending? I would say between 2 and 3, especially because you do want to see it. I know a lot of players have been moving away from Path to Exile in the board for Prismatic Ending, which definitely has its ups and downs. Prismatic Ending can't hit cards like Mucktide Regent, Grizzlebrand, Thought-Knot Seer, things like that. I guess it could hit Thought-Knot if you do have the colors out. So there's always going to be advantages and disadvantages, but I think that the flexibility of Prismatic Ending is much better than it being at sorcery, than the downsides of being at sorcery speed and not hitting some of the bigger threats in Legacy. But yeah, I would probably say 2 or 3. I know some players have been trying it out in the main deck, which is fantastic. Some players playing it over Abrupt Decay. Yeah, it's just I couldn't sing praises high enough. It's been really good. All right, let's do this. Legacy League, play points, nice. Whew, very cool. There we go. Why didn't they just give it Sunburst? Yeah, I'm not too sure. That's a good question, Boyd. Because it is very, very, pretty much exactly the same as Sunburst. But yeah, very interesting that they didn't bring back the keyword. Nice. Yeah, I do like doing mornings. Because it does mean that the US has a bit of a better time, which is nice. It's good to get that UK viewership. This is a sweet hand. Obviously the Dried Up is a little bit awkward, but turn 1 Acceleration into Thalia or Swords. Pretty happy with this. I think I still will once straight away as well, just to get that free spell. But probably looking for something like another Reliquary with the once. Hey Lurin, welcome. I'm going well, thanks. How are you going? How's your weekend going? Grist is pretty sweet as well. I think I will just take the Grist. And I'm just going to go for a Savannah here for the Noble Hierarch. Yeah, Endurance is really good for Maverick as well. I've seen most players playing 1 main deck, 1 sideboard. I do like Achilles playing the 2 sideboard just because of how powerful it is. But this could be Hogaak. Okay. They already get a Hogaak in the bin and a Bloodgust. Interesting. Okay. So now we have some options. I think getting rid of the Stitcher Supply straight away is pretty good to stop them from milling the other 3. So it's probably just Swords then Thalia. Grist is also interesting because it can deal with some of their creatures if I do just start drawing into mana, which is pretty cool. It also isn't taxed by Thalia, which is huge because it is a creature on the stack. Hello pets, welcome. I hope you're doing well. Very cool to see you in here. So yeah, pretty happy to Swords and then play Thalia, which hopefully might tax them for something like a Careful Study, or if they do want to Cabal Therapy us. But Green Suns is probably going for Scavenging Ooze. This is definitely a matchup where I do like Scavenging Ooze over something like Endurance because you have a bit of disruption over time rather than just the one-off ability. Kids out for the week? Sleep in? Nice. 2 very good things. They get Tried Arbor. Okay, they're going to cast Hogaak here. Interesting. So we can actually trade Grist, the Dried Arbor, and the Hogaak, which is kind of nice. Is Pioneer still a thing? Pioneer is interesting, especially locally. I feel like there's a lot of players who want to play it, but the players are all from different stores, so it's kind of hard to, yeah, get something going. Okay. So I think here I'm pretty happy to trade with the Grist. Probably just trading the Dried Arbor. Because thankfully, as I said before, Grist being a creature on the stack, it isn't taxed by Thalia, which is pretty sweet. Hey, Eternal Magic, welcome. Hope you're well. We're going to lose the Grist here. I guess I can recast the Hogaak next turn. Yeah, Matt's saying going for the Ooze would have also been nice. Grist is Legacy playable. I would say it's Legacy testable, but it is nice, as in Legacy you can find it with Green Sun Zenith, which is pretty huge. There's a bridge. I think my best draw is just Cradle off the top. They're probably just going to use 2 creatures here to cast the Hogaak, because now I can't really block. Gravecrawler, double bridge, okay. You kind of get a free attack here, yeah, and I'm just going to let this slide. I don't really want them getting bridge triggers. Endurance, okay. Endurance is pretty sweet. We're definitely playing the Windswept Heath. So I can tap out here for Ooze. Or I can hold up Endurance. I think holding up Endurance is fine, seeing that we get to hit a Gravecrawler, a Faithless Looting, and double bridge. So I think I just want to probably Endurance in upkeep. Yeah, I've definitely seen a lot of testing with Grist, which is really nice, and it looks pretty cool in Elves as well. Second Sav. Just want to fetch here because I want to keep up the Noble just in case I want to block with it. Doing this now so they can't just cast the Gravecrawler in their main phase. Or flashback the looting. There's a Vengevine. That's pretty good. I kind of want this Thalia to die, to be fair. I think I might actually, if they attack with the Hogaak, just put the Thalia in front of it. Because the extra 1 tax on this Green Suns is pretty huge. It means that it's 1 less mana for Scavenging Ooze to eat something with. Discard 2 lands. Okay. Alright, it's pretty happy to block like this. Hogaak is a lot of pressure though, so they're getting to a stage where they could just go wide. So I really need this Ooze to stick. I really don't want to see Cabal Therapy here. We're going to cast the other Hogaak. Okay, that's fair. Maybe they're trying to get the Vengevine in play? Swords. Okay, that's pretty nice. So let's go... Green Suns for Ooze, and then just hold up Swords. But then even here... It's gonna be tough. I can Swords the Hogaak, they swing with everything else. We can take 4. I guess if the Vengevine comes in, we're taking 8. Okay, no Vengevine, that's huge. Let's get to block here. And before damage, Swords Hogaak. Is this just splashing for Blake? Oh, sorry. Hey, Panda. I'm going to be busy next weekend, unfortunately. I didn't see any details on the event either. I just saw that they kind of put in a date stamp. So I'm not too sure what the top 8 prizing is, other than there being 500 together. You'd have blocked both Eaten Vengevine and taken 8. I guess my only consideration for taking 8 there is that I don't want to get in a situation where they can just go wide with everything and not really care what they lose because they... Maybe if I did the math. Hey Fox. Not coming to Highlander, but I'll be in later to catch some cards. Caracas is probably one of the better draws here. They probably fetch here as well, just while I'm tapped out, so I can't eat the Bloodghast. Yep. Okay, there's a Vengevine that I can get, but Gravecrawler is going to be too good. I think that it's too wide this game. That it's going to be pretty hard to get there. Alright. I do like the endurances. Masked Vandal is interesting. It can hit Altar, but I'd probably rather the Oof. The nice thing about Masked Vandal is being a 1/3, it blocks everything like Gravecrawler and Bloodghast really well. Maybe I'd rather that. Thanks, Fox. Good luck at Highlander. I'm sure you will smash it. Happy to take out the Thalias, the Teeg. Keep the endurances. I kind of want some amount of prismatic endings. I don't mind those. Plagues are interesting, but they can be awkward. Like if you name zombie, then they can just get triggers off bridge straight away, which is interesting. This is currently 60, and it all looks pretty good. Okay. Turn 1 Mum, turn 2 Stoneforge, turn 3 Knight, or turn 2 Stoneforge, turn 3 Hex Drinker, and hold up equipment. It doesn't have Graveyard Hate, which could be a little bit risky, but hopefully it's okay. Do I want to fetch? I'm just going to fetch for a Savannah. There might be a world where I don't want to get the Savannah into play, especially if I keep drawing green sources. Then having those in play for Scoos later on is pretty good. Yeah, Endurance has been really solid. But this is going to be a harder matchup without Leyline. Leyline just really strong. Supplier. Okay, there's one trophy. Swords. Okay. This is an interesting one. So I can either play the Stoneforge Mystic and probably go and get Batterskull, or I can play out the Hex Drinker and Swords to Plowshares on the Stitcher. I do like taking them off the Stitcher, but it really only is a concern if they have Cabal Therapy. I think I'd rather keep the sword for an actual threat at this stage. Another night. Hey Julian, welcome. Australia's good. Nice and sunny, but pretty chilly, which is good. It's good jumper weather. Went for a hike this morning, which is really nice. Caught up with some mates. Altar's gonna make this really rough. Hey, thanks for the contributions, everyone, for the Legacy Challenge. Very cool to see. I think I just want to hold up Batterskull and Swords here instead of playing the Knight. Knight is pretty interesting, though. It also gives me access to a lot of mana next turn. Batterskull's not doing much with the Altar in play. And Knight for Caracas or Knight for Cradle's pretty nice. So I don't mind going for Knight here, but it is... Yeah, I think Knight's just a little bit better than holding up these two just because of the Altar. Crab's really nice. Oof. Interesting they didn't sack the Bloodghast first. There's a Hogaak. Oh wow, raised 40k? Jeez. Okay, this challenge is becoming more of a reality than I thought. Yeah, almost there. Crazy. They hit 3 Hogaaks, but no bridges yet, which is kind of nice. Let's get that graveyard up so you guys can see it. Hogaak's Gravecrawler. So Gravecrawler is going to be pretty good here. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Bog in this deck, especially without Leyline. I do like having some sort of effect, but Endurance is also nice because I guess it plays kind of like Bog. We can just 6 here as well, let's be honest. There's 2 bridges. Okay, so now I need to kill something. Of course, they can sack their own stuff and then just win. Yeah. Yeah, rough one. Maybe a mulligan. It did seem like a nice hand, but it was a pretty fair hand. So maybe having to mulligan for something like Endurance or a Green Sun's Zenith with a Noble so you can turn to Ooze was correct. But yeah, definitely a much tougher matchup without some sort of sweeping effect for the graveyard like Leyline. But Hogaak a cool deck. Hogaak a deck that I've been playing in paper and really enjoying. Really good for sequencing, just learning how to how to keep up with your triggers as well. A lot of triggers in Hogaak. And a blue deck that isn't too much of a blue deck, which is kind of cool. Nice. It's been a pretty good format recently. It's been a lot of different matchups in each league that I've played for probably the last like 5 weeks. Everything's been pretty different. It's been pretty abnormal to run into the same type of deck twice, which is pretty cool. Up against Laugh. What do we need to do in Kenya to attract more Australians for Safari? That's a tough one. Especially right now because everyone's really liking just playing around. I like this hand. Kind of traveling around Australia, which kind of has its own Safari in a way. But I think any chance to travel once borders open up is huge. So I think the best thing Canada or Kenya can do is create a bubble with Australia, a travel bubble, so everyone can move between. But yeah, from an actual Safari perspective, can you drink on the Safari? That's really a big thing. There's a big drinking culture in Australia, which is pretty well known. Ugh. I guess we could... No, we can't even once for Masked Vandal. Because there's no creature in the bin. I don't even want to once here because... What do I want to do here? I guess... If they're just putting in a creature here, we do have the once for Caracas. It is actually illegal not to drink on Safari. Haha. If we put in the Thalia, we have to use a mana to use the once, but we do get an extra look. We get an extra card to look at with the once. But I also kind of don't want to give away what we're on. But Show and Tell is just not really a matchup that I'm actually going to be doing that well against, so I don't really care about giving away what we're on in game 1. I think it is just Thalia, so they can't, like, Omniscience into Cunning Wish, but even then, like, it's so hard to beat an Omniscience in play. I think it is just Thalia. Because if we draw another Thalia, that does put a creature into play so that we can get to a position where Masked Vandal can deal with the Omniscience. Okay, I put in Grizzle. At least they can't force the once. That's kind of nice. I guess if we really want to be technical, we should take a land. Oh, no, because we have to... Oh, that's just obviously incorrect, because we have to play a land to cast the once. Yeah, and then we can't cast the... We can't play the Caracas. Idiot. Idiot. Please don't find Caracas. Okay, we wouldn't find Caracas either anyway. That's alright. I guess we would have found Knight. Oh, we would have found Knight. That's another one. Yeah. Knight would have been sweet. Yeah, it's obviously a bigger chance to find a Knight than take the extra type. Yeah. Yeah. Thoughtseize is fine. Carpet, these are good. Pretty happy to take out the Stoneforge Mystic package. And Grist. And some amount of swords. Endurance can most likely come out. I don't mind ending if they want to play out their petals early on. see how this goes. But yeah, Knight's obviously a clear out. Still pretty tough. I assume my opponent would have drawn at least 7 there, so the chance of them going off the next turn as well is pretty high. Definitely a matchup where you want to see Thoughtseize on probably turn 1. Carpet's going to be pretty nice, but Show and Tell can definitely play around it to some extent. Ooze also not the greatest in this matchup, but if they are playing a sweeper like Pyroblast or Kozilek's Return or something of that nature, then being able to sort of recover from that and eat up your creatures and make Screws a pretty good threat is always nice. Alright. I don't mind this hand. Double Thoughtseize is always nice. Can also once for the 3rd land or something like a Thalia. Vandal's interesting, but also what another land is. Go for Bayou. Thoughtseize. Alright. I think here it's just going to be Grizzlebrand. If they draw into a Show and Tell, then obviously they have the Grizzlebrand here, so it's really just mana and force. Yeah, I assume they kept it thinking they could just draw into a Show and Tell. Alright, so we know they have Force as the other card. I just accidentally clicked it. Wasteland. Next turn I'm knighting. Question is, do I want to Thoughtseize here? What song this is? This is Basement Tan by Harris Heller. Yeah, I don't mind waiting on Thoughtseize either. Question is, do I want to play Windsor Peak to get Dryad Arbor? Probably don't mind that. But no turn 2 play is pretty huge. I guess we get hit if they cast... I guess they could have cast a turn 1 sneak attack if they did draw into it, so not Thoughtseizing there isn't too bad. But there's definitely some lines where it can matter. If I draw a Green Suns next turn, I'm probably going to just go for Collector Oof to turn off those petals. It doesn't take too much from Show and Tell to beat Maverick, unfortunately, so... Once. 5 cards, and 3 of them are Force, Ancient Tomb, Spirit Guide. I mean, if they have Force blue card, then they're just left with mana, so... They play the Tomb. Scrib's interesting. I don't think they'll draw 14. I think they would draw 7. But we might as well start with that. I think drawing 14 is very aggressive. Do force it. Okay. I did just use my black mana as well. Just incorrect tapping. Just like a rookie error. I don't mind holding up once. I think holding up once is better than Wasteland, but sneak attack's obviously an issue that I can't really play around. I assume in 9 cards, if my opponent has the sneak attack line, they also have a soul land. The only upside of not hitting Tomb is that if they use it, they have to win that turn, or else we have lethal on the swing back. Put him to 8. Hey, Alec. Very cool. Yeah, definitely a lot of lines with the script. That's just a terrible play from me. Especially to tap the Bayou as well. I wanted to Thoughtseize after they drew with the Grizzlebrand. We know they have a monkey in hand. I will attack. And I'm happy to hit Tomb because we still have lethal next turn, because we most likely find a fetch land off the once, or at least a wasteland. Even little things like, I don't really need to crack this in my turn. I can hold it up. It's a tough one. Not much I can do against Sneak. Especially if I make some errors like that. That's just rookie errors, so I apologize. Alright. We'll come back. We'll come back. We're all good. Up against Joe Fisher. Had some good 7s, which is nice. Up against the Yorion deck. The one lander, I'm not very keen on this. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna keep this and put back the Teeg. And just go Hex into Thalia. Yeah, I think if I can make my opponent stumble if they do have a dual land, then I'm pretty happy to try to do that. Just at least have the chance. Yeah, like this. I don't think I need more pressure. I'd rather see what happens here. Okay. I also don't want to pump in the face for Swords to Plowshares, so happy just to play the Thalia here. Brainstorm's gonna be okay. Okay, interesting. I guess it would have been, looking at this now, turn 1 Savannah, turn 2 Cradle, and then next turn we can untap with 3 mana, 4 Hex Drinker, and also have open the Wasteland. But at least if they tap out here for a Swords to Plowshares to play around Karakas, we can tick up the Hex straight away, which doesn't play around to Fairy Bounce or something like Terminus, but I think that's okay. Opponent's also fetched here, so the Brainstorm is unknown. Yorion you see time to time. It obviously changed a lot since some of the bannings, like Oko and Astrolabe, but it still sees some play, for sure. Probably the most played companion. Still have like Abundant Growth, which acts in a way like Astrolabe. I've definitely seen it in a few Allurin decks, which is kind of cool. Wonder if they fetch for a duel here. They do. A Badlands, interesting. Nothing. Okay. Probably happy just to play the Ooze out here. Get more creatures on the board. We can also play around Terminus, thankfully. Take him off white here. Wow, nothing in response. Crazy. Now they don't have blue mana. It's pretty good. Abundant Harvest, that's gonna be fine. Rip Apart. Okay, so we can take him off the Badlands, which takes him off both those colors, which is pretty sweet. Yeah, Term on Savannah here would have been huge, because having the Cradle on board would be so good. But it looks like we're just going to get there with one more attack phase, and we aggro them out. Which is pretty funny. This is played a lot like a zoo deck, which is kind of cool. Nuts. So it's going to be some sort of 5-color Yorion deck that's probably playing a lot of value cards. But obviously there the mana just didn't really work out. I assume my opponent also started going for duels to really get their colors online, because if they go for like a swamp or a mountain and then lose the tundra, they're just so far behind. Hey Disley. Alright team, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Let me know how you would sideboard, and I'll come back. Hey Disley, I did play Abzan Depths. If you go to my YouTube channel, which you can find here, all my videos have the deck list in the video description, so you should be able to find it there. What is opponent on? Yeah, Jack's saying that it's like a Niv Miz deck. I don't mind going down on a Noble, a Thalia, probably Collector Oof. I like the Sylvan Library. Thoughtseize is pretty cool. I don't know if I want the I can probably drop down on a Wasteland. Actually, seeing their mana base, I'm gonna keep the Wasteland and drop the Cradle, just because they're probably playing a bunch of sweepers. Oh, getting so close to the challenge. 49k. Damn, we need another 1,000 points, and we'll play a legacy challenge. Very cool. All right, just gonna quickly have a look at this. I actually don't mind Prismatic Ending instead of Masked Vandal and One Knight. I think that's okay. I think just one Thalia. I'm going to assume they're on a pretty heavy one. Nice. Very cool to hit. I didn't think we'd hit the 50k, but that's very cool. That's awesome. A huge thank you. Too kind. Too kind. Yeah, Plow's probably a card that I can take out. But here we are. Nice. That's very cool. Alright, we'll have to find a Saturday night for the challenge. Maybe this Saturday night. I think I could easily change prismatic endings for Sword Splashers. It's definitely correct. Maybe even endurances, just as flash creatures are pretty sweet, or maybe some number of choke or carpet, but opponent did have a lot of different jewels, so not the matchup where I want them as much. I know you can do a poll. I'm not too sure how. What do I think ending kits? I'm going to assume Sylvan Library is a big one. Maybe playing Uro. Maybe playing like Teferi. They went down to 4 cards, which is pretty tough for them. Yeah, I assume 3 Teferi. also known as T3PO. It's probably not, but I do like that. Oh, okay. I do want to buy you. I think I'm pretty happy to fetch first and then play once. Could also get Scrubland in case I just want a Prismatic Ending next turn if they play... Nah. It's going to be tough for my opponent. Oh, I didn't once first. I should have once first. Ugh. What is happening? 2 lands and Deafening Clarion. Alright. It's all good. We're fine. We're fine. Oh, what poll did I want? What to play in the Legacy Challenge? Either Maverick or Depths. Oh, Sylvan Library is a perfect draw. Okay. So Kyler, I'm very happy to take 8 with as well. Do they play the Tiger? Thalia is pretty good. I just wasn't sure if they're going to be playing Plague Engineer. Savannah, sure. This feels like Deafening Prismatic Ending. Oh, Vanishing Verse. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Green Suns. Pretty happy here just to play the Knight. Once we start getting Wasteland online, it's going to be pretty nice. Ooh, 8. Nice. Okay. Dovin. Aha! Classic. Another card that Questing Beast just powers through. That's pretty hilarious. We can also get Questing Beast into next turn no matter what, which is cool. Well, that's not as fun, but... There we go. Haha. I'm actually gonna tick off a bingo card there because I believe one of them is win a match relying on Questing Beast, and I feel like without Questing Beast there, the Dovin actually might have done some damage, so... I guess we nearly had all the colors to cast a Prismatic Ending. Oh, we did have the colors to cast a Prismatic Ending, so... Maybe not. Maybe that's a bit too easy. Alright, we're on the board. Hey Mark, a huge thank you. I hope you enjoyed playing Punishing Mav. That looks sweet. Yeah, it's fair, Echo. I think I will, definitely. Yeah, Ragavan seemed pretty sweet. Especially as a turn 1 play. And as a card you can generally dash out pretty easily. Exalted too, yeah, that's very true. Yeah, even like, I can't imagine hitting a Brainstorm against the deck where you just don't want Swords to Plowshares, and being able to like fetch away your 2 swords in hand is just like chef's kiss. So nice. blue. People are playing so much of the new cards. Card holder shuttered new loan accounts. Interesting. On the play. Okay. It's a pretty sweet hand. Pretty aggressive. Thalia's good against unfair decks. Once is pretty nice. Opponent kept 7. Ah, interesting. Okay. I don't mind the acceleration of Bird here. Turns on, let have our 3-drops as well. Scalding Tarn. Island. Okay. Portent. Okay. Gonna be some sort of Miracles deck. See if they shuffle. Top. I don't mind double spell here. Thalia first, so the Hex can't be countered, which is nice. Sean is a devout follower of anything Miracles. Okay, interesting. Ponder Shuffle would be fantastic here, but otherwise something like a they chose to shuffle. Okay, so they're obviously digging for some sort of sweeper, so Green Suns here would be perfect. If I could try to get to Gaddock Teeg ASAP. QB is also pretty good. I just don't want to overextend too far. But it is an extra 2 points. Tap land. There's the Green Suns. I'm not going to show black. I really want to try to win this game without showing that we have a black source. Because then our opponent might not think about Thoughtseize post-board. I'm also going to Green Suns first, just to see what they're doing in the turn. They might try to like Swords Thalia first. Or just force negation. Okay. Can use this mana for Hex. This is pretty interesting. Fairy's gonna be okay. That's fine. I think Wasteland's just the best draw, because then we can still cast QB and Hex. Noble. Yeah, I don't think I'll actually want to play anything here. I'd rather just untap and hopefully cast my hand if I need to. But one also turns off fetch lands, turns off Force of Will. So a pretty tough one, especially if they don't have an out on this turn. Yeah, just a bit too quick. Which is nice, because this isn't going to be a great time. I like the Thoughtseizers. I like the carpets, the library, the choke. I like the prismatic endings over swords. I like taking out some number of knights, noble, cradle. Probably don't want to overcommit. Might even just go down to 2 endings. I don't mind that. And then take out the collector oof. That's pretty good. Endurance is also interesting just because it is a flash creature. See how this goes. Yeah. Turn 1 bird, turn 2 Thalia. QB is always nice to have. Basics are also pretty sweet against the deck that I assume is playing maybe back to basics in the 75, looking at their mana base, but you never know. Kept with the Portent. Nice, alright. Pretty happy just to wasteland. Oh, did not mean to do that. All right. If they let this resolve, I'm probably not playing out the mum, but there's also a consideration that they found Swords to Plowshares, so they want to untap and do that. But I kind of like just playing into them having a Swords, because if the mum gets to untap, it's so huge. Yeah, that's fine. What does Ponder do? Ponder chose to shuffle. Okay. It's pretty good for us. There's a once. Doing it now because I just want to hit a land. Spell Pierce. They kept in Spell Pierce. Interesting. I guess on the play it's pretty good. Probably take a draw. If we hit a land, it's even pretty rough. If we hit a land, we probably just hold up Endurance. Okay. They do get to untap here with something like Force of Will open, just hardcast, so that's pretty tough. Okay. Force isn't too bad because we can untap draw lane and play Questing Beast, which could maybe take out the Jace, which would be pretty sweet. And then we have the Prismatic Ending for the Teferi. But with the fetch land up, I assume Swords to Plowshares is looming. It's a little bit too slow. I'm going to bring the extra Thoughtseize. I'm going to take out a once. Okay. This is pretty nice. Hey Apple Pies, thanks for the subscription. A huge thank you. Been playing Abzan in Modern? Very cool. I haven't seen Abzan in Modern for a little while, so that's awesome to see that you're playing it. Opponent went to 6 cards. Top modern decks. Flooded Strand Pass. Better Skull. I think I like just holding up Scrib Ranger here. Could also Scrib Ranger into Teeg. I don't mind that because it turns off some sort of force on the choke next turn, potentially. Wow, nothing. Okay. Blue. Nothing. Ooh, carpet. Carpet's free. This is fine. Now we get to go green, untap this, return this. Nice. Nice. They can force a negation it, I guess, but they can't force will it. Nice, okay. Attack with both. Casting choke off carpet should be illegal. I guess we can't cast the Batterskull in hand with Gaddock Teeg out or the Green Sun Zenith, which is a little bit rough, but probably okay. I probably just think for that reason I don't mind throwing both of these in. If they have like a Snapcaster Mage, that's not the worst. It's just going to be nothing. Hey Rick, happy Sunday, I hope you're well. I'm going to untap first before I Wasteland. What does my opponent have? If I play the Dried Arbor, we increase the clock. We can also save the Dried Arbor with Scrib Ranger, if they do have some sort of sweeper. Weird game. Really weird game. Opponent up to 6 cards. Okay, I might Thoughtseize here to see what they have first. They haven't seen black yet either. Oh, they just concede? I wonder what... I really wish I saw what they had. I feel like Teeg did a lot that game. All right, on the play. Okay. I think this is fine. Turn 1 Dried Arbor, and then we still have a backup Green Suns, which is kind of nice. It is on the side of mulling because these two cards could just be pretty vanilla in the wrong matchup. Opponent kept 7. At least if the Dried Arbor dies, the Masked Vandal's turned on. Oh, they're gonna once. Could be anything from Maverick to... Oh, Hollow One. Interesting. Okay. Well then, Masked Vandal's looking okay. Double Vengevine? Ooh. LED? Oh no. Oh. Oh, so happy. So happy we get to eat Double Vengevine here. Oh my gosh. Yes, please. Basking Root will look cool. Still double looting. And we know they have Hollow One. Cool. Interesting. Okay. I don't mind Grist here. 2, 3, 4. Wow, they're just gonna concede. Interesting. Huh. All right. I think I like the endurances. Engineer's interesting. They have to get their bagel bites out of the oven. I think we can take out the Thalias and the... I guess Oof is pretty good against the LED lines. Thalia is probably an easy cut. Teeg as well. Ooze is sweet. Script range endurances. Maybe just like prismatic endings. I'm kind of thinking about Teegs because of the 4 like Basking Root Ruler effects, or the 8 of them. And also just as like a blocker for like Hollow One. Seems pretty good. I want to see more of the deck before I sideboard anymore. Prismatic endings do seem pretty strong. We do have the endurances, but I think this is just a mulligan. It's only a 1-lander. This is pretty sweet. I'll keep this in bottom. Probably 1 land. Probably the canopy here. Probably just want to not 6 here in case I need to use the endurance, but hopefully not. What are they on? It is, yeah, a pretty cool Madness deck. I don't have an exact list, but ooh. Grist goes to the bin on 2 lands. We keep a 1 land. They get a Hollow One with haste. Oh, they have an Anger in the bin? That's pretty sweet. Oh, I guess here... I wonder if I should Endurance here to get the Anger out of the bin. So let this resolve. But now, Endurance. Now I'm probably happy just to get rid of the Anji. Whenever it attacks, discard your hand and draw 3 cards. Yeah, that's a pretty easy one to swords. Scrib doesn't do anything. That's true. Scrib could be in a weird situation. I guess it could trade with this, which is nice. It's probably the best thing it's doing. I'm probably just getting rid of... I guess getting Mum Online's pretty good. I'm at a pretty high life total here, so I don't have to sword straight away. Pump is fine. Probably happy just to Green Suns for Dried Arbor here, which is just going to be a blocker long term with Scrib Ranger. And hold up the swords. But a tough situation for my opponent. Yeah, we're looking pretty good. Free attacks. Haha! Ha ha ha! I will fetch here. Get a Sav. Untap Mum, return Sav. Oh, they have a removal spell? Oh, Lightning Axe. Okay. Yeah. Rough. I probably just want to block here and get rid of it. But, yeah. But now we need to draw a real threat. Ooh. All right. Yeah, Mark's Vandal has been interesting. We haven't really hit a situation where it's relevant, but it was pretty sweet. We get to finish 3-2, which is fine. Deck Tech. So this is Achilles lists, which he's been doing really well with. I think he's got a few 5-0s, which is nice. We went down to BUG Hogaak and Blue-Red's Omnitel, or OmniSneak. And then got up against like 5-color Yorion, Madness, and what looked to be Blue-White Control, or Blue-White Miracles, which is pretty sweet. Deck list felt really nice. I haven't had much experience with Masked Vandal, so I can't really comment on it, and if Achilles is playing it, then I assume he's had some really good success with it. But I definitely wouldn't blink an eye at someone playing Qasali Pride Mage or Knight of Autumn in the deck as well. Yeah, I assume Achilles is playing the carpets in the slots of the extra chokes. Because although choke is really good, against some of the blue-red decks, like Delver, where they're playing so many 1-drops and aggressive 2-drops like Sprite Dragon, it can get to a case where you have a choke, but by turn 3, if you're tapping out for choke, you might just be dying to the swing back. So carpet's really nice because it allows you to really play into some of their soft counter magic, and also just, yeah, try to get ahead even on the draw. We'll open our chest. Play points. Oh, what do I have? Oh, I got flat. Okay, let's open all of these. Any strong feelings on complete first Batterskull. I do like the Batterskull in this deck is easier to recast and get value out of. I do like that complete in D&T has flicker effects that can reset it. And in this version with Guy's Cradle as well, that's a pretty easy way to make sure you can get some value out of Batterskull outside of just being able to put it in off a Stoneforge Mystic. Pretty terrible chests. But what do you expect? Okay. But yeah, really cool. Grist has been really solid. I saw someone ask about that before, but I think as a one of it's pretty great. I do like that Grist allows you to turn on some of your dead cards in other matchups. So Grist against a deck like Elves. Obviously in the main deck we have cards like Masked Vandal and Oof, which do nothing, but it does turn them into a removal spell, which is nice. The same thing for Gaddock Teeg in like the Death and Taxes or Maverick matchups, or like Mother of Runes against Eldrazi is pretty sweet. So I think Grist is pretty strong, and it's obviously going to be really good in decks that also have equipment, because then it makes the 1/1s a little bit more of a threat, which is kind of cool. But yeah, overall, pretty happy with the deck. There's not too much we can do against the first two matchups. We're not playing anything like Leyline for Hogaak, so relying on just Endurance and Scavenging Ooze as interaction can be pretty brutal, but just got to take it as it comes. Very cool to hit the Saturday Day challenge. That was a 50k community points challenge, so I'll have to find a Saturday night that I can play a challenge, and I'll put it out on Twitter and let you guys know when I'm playing. Yeah, the re-equip of Caldra is pretty tough. It's really nice to have those flicker effects to kind of cheat around it in a way. That is me. This is a 1 league stream. There's some new content coming up in the Green Sun Zenith tonight, which is cool. It's been a long time since I've been writing, so it's really nice to get something out. Actually with Achilles and Mark Strassman, which is pretty cool, just on some thoughts around some of the printings from Modern Horizons 2, like Endurance and Prismatic Ending and Grist, so that should be pretty sweet. A huge thank you to you guys for coming in and watching. Strass, a big thank you for the raid as well. That was really nice. I'm going to quickly see who else is streaming. A big thank you to all those new followers and subscribers, of course. It was really cool. Mr. Lee's streaming? Nice, okay. Well, that is a pretty easy one to go for. Nice. All right. Enjoy your weekends. Stay safe. I'll be back Thursday night at 7:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Might even come back on Monday or Tuesday night and stream some D&T or some depths, because I have been itching for those two. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, enjoy your weekends, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers.